Hey everybody, it's Jeremy Bradley here, and it's time for the BuffRadio.com entertainment wrap-up presented by Buff Boy Brewing Company.
JB's Entertainment Wrap-Up.
Brought to you by BuffBoyBrewing.com. For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature rise, and you'll surely feel naughty when you swallow their coffee. Shop Buff Boy Brewing's premium collections of coffee and tea at BuffBoyBrewing.com. Buff Boy Brewing, you can't get enough buff. Here's what's making news this July 15th. Thank you, next, says Ariana Grande, and this time she's circling back around. Grande is reportedly back with her ex after a quiet split from Ethan Slater. We talked about it earlier this year that Grande and Slater were having relationship troubles during the press rounds for the release of Wicked. It was brushed off at the time, but insiders said they were headed for Splitsville. Sure enough, those unnamed sources were right again. Well, just months after the Slater split, Grande has reconnected with Ricky Alvarez. The two first got together back in 2015 and carried on for about a year. Onlookers recently spotted the exes together for 4th of July, and they looked pretty cozy with each other and spent it with her family in Florida. Sources said, though, they're taking things slow as they rekindle their romance. That's going slow, right? Hey, let's get together with my family. Okay. Shifting gears, there was speculation that Howard Stern would be leaving SiriusXM after his once hugely successful radio show began to crumble and lose listeners by the millions. Fun fact, when I was doing my syndicated radio show, we had about 300,000 listeners. That's almost double what Howard Stern had at the last ratings numbers that we got. He was about 150,000. Anyhow, even with the publicity stunts to try drum up attention, it has not helped Stern's show. At the time of those contract rumors, we heard staffers were headed for the exits because of the day-to-day uncertainty. Now the crumbling continues. Regular listeners of Stern's show have noted in recent years the shock jock seems to be phoning it in. He's not necessarily live 5 days per week anymore. He's not coming into the studio. He's working from home a lot. Well, the cuts continue. This time it's people in addition to the schedule. Stern reportedly laid off roughly a dozen people as he cuts the show down to once per week. The change is reportedly happening after Labor Day as Stern takes on the, quote, flexibility, end quote, his new contract allows. It made headlines last year that Stern might not renew because Sirius would never give him anything close to the $500 million he commanded years ago. So as part of the schedule downsizing, it's reported that Stern won't need as much staff, obviously. He'll keep his longtime dedicated team while others are cut loose. Those losing their jobs were told on Zoom earlier in the week, according to sources. Stern still has his time slot, but it said that shows from his decades of the archives will fill time. Speaking of jobs, what exactly is the job of a royal? Or a former royal, right? He's the Harry formerly known as Prince, but what is his job? Harry took part in an interview where he was asked his occupation. He said, quote, full-time dad, British Army veteran, Prince of England, Duke, but for today, I don't know. He didn't say Meghan's bitch, but maybe that's, that's quite a list that he has there, so it's easily to forget that, right? But later he added founder in reference to the Invictus Games. That's the sporting event he launched in 2014 to help wounded, injured, and sick military members and veterans. And that is a check of your celebrity headlines for this Wednesday, July 15th. I'm back tomorrow right here on the BuffRadio.com entertainment wrap-up presented by Buff Boy Brewing Company. Till next time, I'm Jeremy Bradley.
For a great cup of joe, there's one thing you should know. Your morning brew can also be playful. Buff Boy Brewing guys make the temperature